All right, so you guys are gonna notice a slightly different background and style in this video because this is my first video I'm recording since Hurricane Ian totaled my house in Matlacha. I'm sure you guys have seen it all over the news, and I'll play some of the B-roll in this video for you. But yeah, Hurricane Ian made landfall where my house is. I was fortunately not in it at the time. Some other people in my town were not as fortunate as me to have not been there. I took shelter about 20 minutes away where I am currently in Cape Coral, and we had no idea the size of that storm was on the way to our area. So I will take you guys through that experience with me. It was hard. It is hard. It's been traumatizing, but everybody here has definitely come together and risen to the occasion. And it's been really incredible to see the display of humanity. Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach, Pine Island, so many different barrier islands here have been absolutely destroyed. And it's going to take a really, really long time to rebuild. If people choose to rebuild, there's obviously a lot of conversations about safety or if this could happen again in the future before someone comments that down below. But it's just been an unbelievable last 4 weeks, and I'll take you guys through that process with me. I don't really have it in me right now to be making my usual freelancing videos, mainly because about 90% of my YouTube equipment was lost in the 4-foot storm surge that went through my house. I have insurance. I will be all right with all of that, but I did lose a lot of it. I do have my mics still, so I'm coming at you with an iPhone at my business partner's home right now, and we'll probably be doing this well into the future. Real quick, I'm very fortunate to have sponsorships right now, so I'm going to talk to you guys about Taylor Brands. Taylor Brands is an AI-driven one-stop shop for aspiring freelancers and small business owners. They offer everything you need to launch a business in one place, including domain registration, trademarking, logos, business email addresses, websites, and digital business cards. Very important, you can file your LLC with Taylor Brands in just a few clicks to protect your business and keep your profits after taxes. So important, you guys, I cannot stress this enough. LLCs make it easier for customers to trust your business. Trust is everything in freelancing. You guys know I've said this so many times. You can also open a business bank account, separate your personal and business assets, and do it all with Taylor Brands' hassle-free process. The LLC is available in the US only, but you can register your business in the US from anywhere in the world. I highly, highly recommend checking out this kind of professional business service, you guys. Click the link in my description below for their limited time offer. So September 28th, 2022, the morning of the hurricane. So I decided to come shelter with my friend Bree here and her boyfriend Chris. And my mom actually made the decision at the last second to come here as well. She lives about 10 minutes away in Cape Coral. We were not told by the news that this storm was going to be a Category 5 or come directly for this area. It was always scheduled to hit Tampa, which is about 150 miles north. So we were preparing for some heavy rain, lots of heavy rain, maybe a little wind. We were not expecting to be hit with 200-mile-per-hour gusts of wind, which is what many people in this area have clocked. I've talked to a lot of them. So I came here that morning thinking by the next day this would all be over with. We might not have power for a couple days, call it a day. I was doing work up until 1 p.m. when we still had power. We had the storm shutters on this house, thank God, screwed into the wall. And around 1:30 p.m., when the wind started to pick up, the power went out. I knew that was going to happen. I still wasn't afraid or scared or anything. We were going outside right here up until then, taking videos and pictures, kind of making light of it the best that we could. My mom was freaking out, and she was right because she had a bad feeling that a really, really horrible storm was on the way. I didn't want to believe it, but she was right. The power went out at 1:30. That's when the first half of the storm hit, and then the eye came about 4:30 p.m., and so it got really quiet. And I was like, okay, the first half of the storm, that was kind of scary, but there's a little flooding outside. We're all gonna make it. And right before our phone service went, along with the power, I started to see tweets about Sanibel, Matlacha, a record storm surge, a biblical storm surge occurring. And I saw that, and I was like, I'm a new Floridian, maybe this is normal, maybe this happens a lot. And again, didn't think much of it. Then the eye came. We all took a nap because it was heavy on the body to be in a hurricane. If any of you guys have ever been in one, first half of it, the pressure on my head hurt so bad I couldn't see. I was like, this is crazy. You could almost feel like the vacuum effect occurring outside. Eye came, we all took a nap. Then 5:30 p.m. hit. from about 5:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., I actually thought, and I'm not being dramatic right now, I actually thought we were going to die, truly. The wind, the force of the wind hitting this house was ripping metal storm shutters one by one off of each house. I saw trees airborne outside. I tried to capture video of this, but I was terrified. Our phones were getting non-stop alerts from the government saying, seek shelter, extreme winds, cover yourself, go into the bathroom. There's tornadoes all in the area. I could see lightning bolts outside. And I really can't describe the sound of 200-mile-per-hour winds hitting the house. So when the second part of the storm hit, and it stayed here for about 5 hours, that's what made this storm so terrible, is that it didn't move. It switched and started hitting my friend's front door here. So we had to barricade it with all of the furniture in her living room and sit on it. My mom was like crying, I think, in the background. The door was about to blast open. I've since met people whose doors did blast open, creating a hole in the front of their house, which made a vacuum, which sucked all the debris and everything from the area into their house. And once the door gets blasted open, the roof can start lifting. And my mom's roof actually levitated off of the garage at one point, twisted, and came back down. So her house is screwed right now. But living through it was just horrendous. We obviously would have left the area if we were told a Category 5 was coming directly for where we live. I will no longer be listening to weather people when they make forecasting calls about hurricanes. If there's ever a hurricane even coming remotely close to the Gulf of Mexico, you can catch me in like North Carolina or something. They were very wrong about all of it. And I've seen a lot of people write really judgmental things on social media, like that we all should have left. This part of Cape Coral was never evacuated. We were never sent alerts to evacuate. Yes, I was sent one for my home in Matlacha, and I did evacuate it. But even if you did evacuate your home, going back to it completely totaled, many people without insurance, doesn't really matter. So I'm just clearing that up for the comments I'm seeing online that have been bothering me with that. By 12 a.m. that night, we all tried to get some sleep. The wind was still really bad the entire night. We opened the door just to shout out to the neighbors to see if everyone was okay. I could just tell from the intensity of that there was definitely dead people in the area just from what it went down. There's a lot of old people here. We didn't have the storm surge up in this part of the Cape, but I had seen some tweets. One of the scariest, hardest parts of all this is that we had no cell service whatsoever for like 72 hours. So we didn't even know what was going on in our own area while everyone else, outside of here did. But that next morning around 10 a.m., the police were, asking people not to go on the roads yet. They were trying to make their way to these barrier islands, all of which had their bridges washed away. So the bridge to where my house is just washed into the ocean. And I soon learned, along with the entire town, I have videos of it. It was really horrible to see for the first time. It's still horrible to see. I can't really even go over there right now, to be honest. We had to take a boat to even get to my house 5 days later because there was no bridge. I had no idea what I was coming back to. I wasn't hopeful. When I saw the structure still standing, we had to walk a mile just to get to it. I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I emerged unscathed here until we opened the door. And it was a layer of just sludge like this in everything. You could see the ocean, I'd come up 4 feet in the house, in the outside sheds, bringing with it mold, debris, chemicals, toxins. We did our best to wear what we needed to wear to get in there. I grabbed what little clothing I could, and we packed up 3 garbage bags to bring back to the boats. And it was really just a situation you don't ever imagine yourself being in. I'm grateful I had my Jeep here. Again, I'm alive, my family's alive. A lot of people write that at least you're alive. Yes, we are alive. That still doesn't take away, though, from how hard this has been and how hard it's been to see what's happened to my neighbors, what's happened to their businesses. People I would pass on my runs and walks every day have passed away. People at Fort Myers Beach who were famous, gone, it's just, it's hard to put into words. So I know for me right now, I do not have the energy to do my usual sit down education with you guys. Luckily, I kind of have shared pretty much everything I already know about freelancing with you. And I really have actually put it into my book, which you guys have seen me link to in a lot of these videos, and I'll link to it below. It's coming out November 15th. that's kind of what I'm going to have to defer to right now. I've had a lot of people advise me in my life to almost make this a story time, and for now and into the future, just different stories. I think I'm going to do a part 2 to this video where I will go more in depth into actual Matlacha and what I saw when I got to my home. I don't want to make this one too long, but thank you everyone who's written really nice things. I have a fundraiser going on. I'm trying to help these people. I had homeowners insurance, wind insurance, flood insurance, which was critical for me. And they're actually gutting my house today as we speak, ripping everything out of it. Beautiful 65-year-old home, all of the history gone. So keep the people here in your prayers. This has been very, very hard. Lots of casualties, lots of things that are not being reported on the news that I'd be happy to share with you all. It's not being covered up, I would say, but it is definitely not being communicated in how bad it actually was. So I promise in my upcoming videos, I'll bring some of my humor back. Nothing humorous about this, but thank you everyone who has checked in. I'm alive. I'm not going anywhere. I have an iPhone, so life will go on, and I'm going to keep recording. And if you guys want to learn more about freelancing, I'm going to defer it to Freelance Your Way to Freedom. I do not have my book with me. Right now, I lost all of my books. I'll break that down in the next video. Sorry, books. I literally walked into my house and I said, I am so sorry, books. You did not deserve this end. Because these old books were like living organisms to me. And now there's living organisms in them. The mold and the fungus has just reclaimed everything quite quickly. Mother Nature is unbelievable in a both terrifying and beautiful way. So I will leave you with that. Feel free to ask me any questions you guys have below, especially if you have any about the book. I'm happy to answer them. Comes out November 15th. I will be doing videos on that. Maybe I'll be doing a reading series. I can read a chapter each week or cliff notes from it or something like that. So hope you guys are well. I'll be back next week, and I hope your businesses are thriving and the best is yet to come.